20 years ago, I sold a franchise to this gentleman. I literally met with him and sold a franchise 20 years ago, Keller Williams franchise, to this gentleman. I didn't even know Casey at that time. That's beautiful that I get to know her now. But when you meet somebody that can change your world, he changed our world for Keller Williams at that time. He was a game changer. Became a professional coach and trainer and one of my best friends. 20 years later, I'm in business with him again. He's one of the best trainers I know. And when I met Casey, when you meet Casey, let me tell you, the heart and soul of our company is in Casey. Let's give it up for Casey Council and Rick Geha!
Good morning. I'm going to move over here because the star of my show is right there. We're excited to be with you today. I was getting emotional just listening to Krista. Krista and I have known each other for many years. She used to work in one of my KW offices many years ago. So let's get started, and we got a lot of things to say in a short amount of time, and thank you for being here with us. We're really honored to be a part of this event. So, my story, quickly. Next month, I'll celebrate 41 years selling houses in Northern California. Thank you for clapping. Most people say, what the hell are you still doing here? I've been a speaker and a trainer and a coach for 28 of those years. I owned 9 Keller Williams franchises over a 14-year period. To make a long story short, I lost everything. No offense, Gary Keller was a smarter businessman than me. He was getting richer and richer, and I lost everything. In 2010, my 30th year in real estate, I had no homes. I had a credit score under 500, 1.4 million in debt, living in a, as Casey called it, a skanky apartment.
That's a generous understatement.
Left Keller Williams in 2015, kind of disappeared into the woodwork just so I could focus on selling houses because I knew I could make money doing that way. 2 years later, a guy named Brent Gove, who he and I had stayed in touch over the many, many years of ups and downs for both of us, came to me and said, you got to look at this. My wife was in Chile at the time building her network marketing business. She did a great job at it. And I said, Brent, this looks amazing. Well, at first I told him to go to hell. And then that's the true story. And then later he got me to look at the webinar. And I told him, after I watched the webinar, he said, you got to watch it all the way to the last slide. I said, I'm in. I just said one thing. I'm married to the love of my life. We just got married. I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. I'm not making the final decision, so she comes home from her trip. She comes home from her trip. Brent lives 2 hours from us. It's 7:30 at night. She calls him and says, come to our house right now on a Friday night. And at 9:15, Brent shows up at the front door. That's the night the decision was made. I do want to say something really important so we get on to my wife's slide, but I'll bring it into hers. Babe, let's go to your story. So she's been an entrepreneur her whole life. And when I met her, it's funny, I was dating the lady that owned the Keller Williams office she was working in. And that was the most horrible relationship I could ever imagine. And yet I have nothing but gratitude for it because she's actually the one who introduced me to Casey. And Casey has single-handedly changed my life, who I am as a person, how I show up in the world, and what I'm capable of. She became a nationally known speaker and trainer way back in 2010. She was asked to travel the world to speak for the company Nu Skin that she was part of. She continues to be a rock star in Nu Skin, but she built it so well she only has to work 3 to 5 hours a week in it right now. So, and she's an incredible example. When she and her business partner started doing a coaching of other people in the network marketing industry to get them to understand how easy it is to attract people. Does that sound familiar to you? Attract people into your industry, into your business. When this grew, when EXP started to explode, her and her business partner went to Brent and said, we coach on this same thing. And of course, most of you know, in November, she was invited to speak at Brent's Tahoe Mastermind, which was held in Truckee, not Tahoe. And her little video went viral around EXP. One thing that did change for us, this is our family, my sons and their wives. One of the most important members of our family is actually here today, and that's Casey's sister. She's one of my sweetest friends, and of course, she's out there somewhere with you guys watching. So we're pretty excited to have everybody here together. So move on, honey. I don't want to be more emotional than I am right now. So really
Wait,
quick.
I'm going to just interject and say something, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when we started dating, way back when, Rick would say, well, tell me what you're feeling. And my throat would seize up. And I was like, I can tell you what I'm thinking, but not what I'm feeling. And it was, as you can see, a man with a heart of gold that has touched so many people because of who he is and what he brings out in other people. And this is part of teamwork that you can build into your team because you will attract who you are. You will attract who you are. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And this is a perpetual learning and development and growth that happens. And as you grow, mature, and build and develop your organizations, it calls you to become the best version of yourself so that you can make the difference that you're meant to make. And yes, your dreams will start to happen as I'm going to have Rick tee this up so we can check it out.
Okay, yeah, really quickly. So while COVID was devastating to many people, we also lost people to death and other things. COVID, as you can look at based on your mindset, was an opportunity also. An opportunity for us to go from 135 combined flights in 2019 to 0 flights in 2020, and our organization quadrupled. There's a second reason for that, and that is, as Scott Lewis said, his talk was brilliant today, find somebody you want to do the business with. 2 years ago, she jumped in doing this with me. And she took the back room, I took the front room, and our business quadrupled. She told me, like I tell people all the time, if you just come to EXP, sell houses, have them take 5% of your commission, buy stock, and just keep selling houses, you'll do amazing. You want attractive agents, you'll do amazing. Everything in this company speaks to that. In March, she came to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, honey, you've bought $50,000 worth of stock using 5% out of your commission, and it's worth $250,000 right now. And then that was March of 2020. In January of 2021, she touched me on the shoulder, and she goes, that $250,000, honey, is $3.6 million. I had no houses after my divorce. Hold on. Go backwards, honey. When I met Casey, she had just filed bankruptcy and lost her house to short sale. We've been together 13 years tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's the 13th anniversary of our first date. And 2 weeks ago yesterday, we closed on the home of our dreams. You went too far. That's not our dreams.
Can we roll the video? So there's the sunset and the bubblegum sky and the birds. And there's a Beth Bulls and a full sesame.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to Pacific Grove.
Yeah.
And the
And
lighthouse.
where's the Rick Geha? Honey. Honey.
If you're ever in a little town called Pacific Grove, California, right between Monterey and Carmel, you can come and see us. So, honey, please take it away.
All right, so we are going to jump in and give you some content and to-dos. Would you agree enthusiasm is so much when you're going to influence people? You pair enthusiasm with some very simple skills and you will be untouchable. Enthusiasm plus skills, everything you touch will turn to gold because you'll have the confidence, the posture, the certainty, and the enthusiasm for people to be able to be influenced by you, but at the same time, be able to duplicate what you do because it takes the mystery out of it. So here's just a couple of things as we jump in. There were so many incredible speakers. I want to say thank you to Brent. Being invited to speak is a privilege and a responsibility. It is not a right. And so we are grateful for your trust in us and your gratitude that we have for you. rather to be invited here today. There's a couple of things I heard people say. Is EXP a network marketing company? No, what is it? It's a real estate company. So let me just break this down, because the more I hear it, the more I want to shout it from the rooftops. There is no such thing as a network marketing industry. It doesn't exist. There's a direct sales industry where products go direct from a manufacturer to an end-line consumer without ever hitting a retail shelf. That is direct sales. What do? The marketing strategy for direct sales companies is networking. That's the marketing strategy. The compensation that goes with that is multi-level. That is a compensation program. The industry is direct sales. We're not selling, as Brent mentioned, supplements and skincare and different things like that. So this is not the direct sales industry. It is a real estate company with a visionary man who had the idea that knew that when you reward people for doing something financially, they will continue to do it. And the reward that he's built in is that when you have a great experience at EXP and you go talk to other people about EXP, they're going to want to come to EXP and join you. And EXP's thank you back to you is that every time they do what they were going to do anyway with whatever real estate company they're with, called close a transaction, they're going to share part of that revenue back to you as a gift and a thank you for as long as that agent is at this company. Is that amazing?
Yes.
That is amazing. So that piece of clarity is so important, and how I like to talk to people about EXP is really simply, you can see that there is no limit on what can be created, and so many people have small vision. So when you share with them a huge vision, what they do is they disconnect because they're not able to see themselves in that large of a vision. People's vision will continue to expand and grow based on the environments that they put themselves in. And so what we found has been really, really incredible is to be able to have a conversation with someone and be maybe 1 or 2 steps in front of where they're at in their business and in their life, but not so far out that we blow them out of the water. So I wouldn't necessarily share our story of today with a newer person that we're talking to that doesn't have that kind of vision, that is just looking maybe a year, 2 years down the road, not clear on what they can do and what's available to them. And so here's the easiest way that I like to kind of share it with people, and this is the power of 5. I will ask someone, do you feel like in your real estate career you have developed enough relationships and people have had an experience of you where you have at least 5 people that you could influence for the good? And most people will say yes. Okay, let's say that that person came to EXP and they're a capping agent. What that's going to mean for you is $2,800 per capping agent per year. Do you think each of those 5 people have those kind of relationships as well? Yeah, absolutely. So what if you helped those 5 people influence the 5 people closest to them? They're all capping agents. That's $94,000 a year of revenue to you outside of your day-to-day transactions. Now, I also tell them it's never going to happen like that, because you're not going to recruit 5 capping agents who recruit 5 capping agents. And you notice I use the word recruit? I love the word recruit, because recruit means that I've taken the time to learn about someone else and what their needs are, and that I have solutions that can help them get what they want. I can recruit them to a personal development training that we've done. I can recruit them into coaching with amazing coaches that we know. I can recruit them into buying a book that we've bought and we've read. That's recruiting. That is recruiting. And the more comfortable you get with that, and the more you educate people on what that is, it's incredible. So we know it's never going to happen like that, but let's say they're half cappers. That's $4,000 a month of passive income. We live in a country where the average annual income is under $60,000 a year per household. That is life-changing income. And it's never about the dollar amount. It's about when that goes to work, what it does for the lives and the families that it changes and that it touches. So don't underestimate the gift that you have in your hand. Now, if you want to go watch the full-blown training on third-party validation, you can do that. However, due to time, what we're going to do is jump in and give you a different perspective of it, which is this.
Well, so Casey heard me do a recruiting call, and she stopped as soon as I hung up. I don't know how many of you have an amazing partner like I do. I think a lot of you do. But she said, as soon as I hung up the phone, this is a quote, "What the hell was that?"
That's what Rick heard.
That's what you said.
That's not even my language. Okay, this is why people like when we get on stage.
Okay, so we're going to write a book called He Said, She Said.
And she said's going to be the version you want to read.
That's right. Anyway, I've been coaching recruiting for brokerages for many years, and the one thing I realize is the difference between teaching someone how to recruit to RE/MAX or Keller Williams or Coldwell Banker, because you're telling the RE/MAX, Keller Williams, or Coldwell Banker story. And when you're recruiting to EXP, you're telling your story. So I sat down with her and her business partner. We had a nice little coaching session. We agreed that having my wife coach me wasn't probably going to be good for bedroom or anywhere else. So
Never coach your spouse. Don't recommend it.
Anyway, so she started coaching us on how to work together. She's a good friend of ours and also Casey's business partner. And it changed my recruiting completely. And literally, through COVID, we took off. So go ahead. And, oh, wait. She goes, I went through a while where I was doing much better with the storytelling. She said, you're not closing very much.
I said, are you using Brent?
Are you using
Are you
Brent?
using Brent
She
for
said.
three-way calls? Are you using Brent for three-way calls? Now, let's just say this about that. That's not duplicatable. It is because he's our sponsor, right? So everyone can do three-way calls. The more people you have in your organization doing three-way calls, the faster you're going to grow.
Yeah.
Brent's our sponsor. So are you using Brent? Are you using Brent?
No, I wasn't. I said, Brent's busy. She goes, you don't know that. You didn't call him.
It was kind of like this.
And then she went
Do
around
you
behind
know
my
who
back
I
and told
am?
Brent, and Brent called me and go, dude, you got to use me. I'm like, you've been talking to my wife.
So the point is working together, right? Who in this room can do a third-party validation call where you can validate the story of EXP, expand someone's vision by sharing your story or someone else's? Every single hand in the room would want to be up right now because everyone is capable of doing that. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you execute on that as we close with this video. So we were in Tarragona, Spain a few years ago for an event that we were invited to speak at. And they are known for this thing called the human tower. How many of you have ever seen a human tower before, by show of hands? Okay, a couple of you. As you watch this video, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about, first off, there for an hour in this plaza, they came together and they prepped. Everyone was getting ready in exactly what they're wearing. Everything has a role. Everything serves a function. But I want you to imagine in your mind having an organization of agents that are all working and helping each other, not going, I need to get on Brent's schedule or I need to get on Jean's schedule for a three-way call, but people that are all working together, telling the story, using that third-party validation call to lift and edify. So as you watch what's happening here, we've got the base in place. Think about what you heard Scott Lewis talk about duplication. Do you think there's room for ego in this? Do you think there's room for being more than someone else? This is the epitome of teamwork, of people coming together, of people working together to create something that is bigger and bolder and more possible than anything that any one of these individuals could create alone. When you take the time to make the time and serve your organization and serve your team, have those conversations, share your stories, support people to finding out what they need, the one thing that they need to hear to make the decision, the story that's going to resonate, the vulnerability that goes with sharing that story. Every single one of you, your story matters. Every single one of you, where you're at in this journey and the part of your story that you're at right now matters. It can use to be helping and influencing other people. And as you do that, as you continue to expand your own vision and grow your own dreams, bigger than you ever thought may be possible, larger than you can maybe see for yourself today, it will all come together. There's one person that you need to sponsor in this business and fully recruit and enroll in this business, and that is you. If you are 100% in, you will find the people that are meant to join you. You will find the people that are meant to be part of your tribe. You will find the people that you will continue to lock arms with, to grow with, to invest in. And as you continue to do that through, of course, the times where there's celebration and there's growth and it's amazing, as well as the times where there's challenges bigger than you know that you're going to experience in this moment in time, and some of those are going to be painful, the end result will be so worth it because this vehicle will have helped you become the person that you are meant to be and the impact that you are meant to have in this world. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.